Come on.
One more time.
Nope.
Don't kick
We're
us off.
live. We're live.
Hello, everybody. It's Danny and Wanda from Deep South Homestead.
You gotta love it when it does all this.
He fixes everything and then it does it, and he has to refix it again.
I have to redo it again.
It's funny.
You click one button, it changes everything. Okay.
One day we're gonna figure all this out.
Oh, we got it figured out. It just
does it on its own.
It does it on its own. If you click one thing, it turns something else off. Yeah. Yep, there we are. Alabama Gardener from Mobile, Alabama.
Yep. Lots of people popping in.
Yep.
I'm not sure if we're going to have moderators or not. Just going to tell you, I don't know where my moderators. I've got one that has company, one that don't have any internet. So
I'm going to freak everybody out.
If we need a moderator, I may have to
make one tonight.
Make one or two tonight if we need them.
Well, are we all ready to die?
Not really.
Well,
and yes and no.
Yes and no, because you know what's happening. Happened a while ago. All the Soviets sent all their nuclear subs out to the ocean to prepare for battle. So, what's going on? Are we going to die tonight?
No.
You don't reckon?
Maybe not.
Maybe not?
Maybe not.
Maybe we live another day?
Mm-hmm. Well, things change momentarily.
They do.
That's what we figured out.
Yep.
So, that's just another kink in the new system.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all, I'm eating marshmallows. If you want to know what I'm eating marshmallows. It's little mini marshmallows, different colors, just because.
Oh, there's Mark. Mark
showed
up.
We got one. Mark, you may be on your own tonight.
You may be on your own, Mark. All of our other moderators are having some
Mark
rough
may
times.
have to play like he's 5 people right now because he's the only moderator we know we have. Saddle Ridge says Israel is flying their fully armed jets on patrol.
You know why, don't you? Because the Soviets has just sent all their nuclear subs out to the ocean to prepare for battle.
Thank you, Coastal Redwood. Y'all go listen to our podcast. We've been having fun. I did the first podcast with Danny this past week for Thanksgiving, and I had fun with it. I was a little scared of the mic. Wasn't sure I was going to like that, but maybe in the future I'll do another one and we'll see.
Yep.
It probably won't be this week unless he comes up with a topic I can talk on, but in the future.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
Okay.
And they have a new O variant.
Yeah, they have a new variant.
They call it O?
No, it was called the O variant, but it's Omnicron.
No,
Omnicron. Yeah.
Omnicron.
Showed up in South Africa. I listened to a doctor today that says he believes it's already in the United States, but he said the reason he believes that is because they're not really testing for it yet. He says he believes if they started testing, they would find it here.
And I've been looking for 2 days to see if I can find exactly what the symptoms of it is, so I'd know, because I like to know symptoms. Nowhere have I seen anybody list symptoms. Is it the same thing as the other variants? Is it, what do you have? How do you know it's not Delta or the O or the regular C19? How do you know which one's which? And I'm not been able.
Yes, Carrie Hanks, I have seen that. As a matter of fact, that's not anything new. This has been going on for just a pretty good while, where they're using celebrities to make meat out of now. That's been a kind of a really weird thing that's been going on.
Celebrities to make meat out of.
They're taking tissue from celebrities and turning it into
where
you can buy your own.
I was thinking
personal,
celebrity tomatoes.
No.
Going, okay, how do they take celebrity tomatoes and do this?
Hollywood celebrities. That way you can you can have your own steak from Val Kilmer or whatever. You can have your own Val Kilmer steak or whatever. Yeah.
I'll stick with what we usually eat. No. Yeah. I don't know. We've got a lot going on, guys, in the world, and so we've been asking you guys to just start growing something, and tonight we just kind of wanted to talk about, we'll show you a few pictures of things we've got going on here in a few minutes too.
Yeah.
But then we've got, I don't know, talking about what we can grow, what they can grow, and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, after watching this or doing the research on this Soviet thing and seeing what people's responses was, I think that people are waking up. I mean, because lots of people, when I looked on Turo, it was amazing to see their thought pattern. They said, people, we've prepared for this all along. It's gotten real now. It's time to start implementing what we prepared for. And that's, and that's the way I feel about it. A lot of people said, let it happen. We're prepared. Lots of people were talking like that. So, Danny, you look to me like you're looking at the computer screen. I am looking at the computer screen.
Yeah. So
I'm trying to read the writing way off over there to see what people are saying.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard because half our screen's us and the other half is the writing. And so if we look at you guys, we can't read the writing. If we look at the writing, we don't. You don't think we're paying.
If I sit up here and look at this like I'm looking at you,
we have
all
no
the time,
clue.
I couldn't tell you anything that's going on over here on this screen. So I have to turn and I have to look at the chat just to see if I can catch up with it, because ours is like going up and down, up and down, up and down. And I can actually stop it, but if I start it back, then it just zips by real fast and I miss half of what's on.
And we just try to keep up if there's something asked or something like that. It's kind of hard because sometimes it's crazy, but Omni is of all things. Cron is short for Cronus. Cronus ate his children. Yes.
Yes.
There's a lot of weirdness going on right now. I don't know. Anyway, you want to talk about our week a little bit, and then we'll talk about what they can...
Yeah, we've had a pretty interesting week here.
Let me see if I can find...
I can do this. I mean...
Can you do this?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay. Now, Danny and I don't go...
We don't go shopping at all.
Shopping like most people.
Most people go
especially
shopping.
Black Friday.
We do not go on Black Friday. But for the past 2 years, we have ended up out on Black Friday for some reason or other, because there's some kind of deals that are really good survival deals. And you wait all year for these things, and they just can't seem to afford them until that day.
That's Wanda's new muck boot.
I told Wanda, I said, Wanda, we don't have any muck boots. And she said, what?
I said, I don't need muck boots.
She said, I don't need a muck boot. I said, yes, you do. You need a muck boot. You don't know what's going to happen in this world. You don't know when you might have to wade or bog through something.
I don't plan on mucking very much.
Well, I'm telling you. So we went to the hardware store. I had to get some stuff for another project I had going on.
There was all of like 10 or 12 people in the hardware store, so it wasn't like
it was a mad rush or nothing. But when we walked in the door, I saw a guy walking out the door with 4 boxes of muck boots in his arms. And I told Wanda, I said, Wanda, get back there and make sure there's some muck boots left for us, because I didn't know how many people had been in ahead of him. So she went back there and she said, there's still some back here. And so I was like, I was okay then. I said, let me go do my shopping around, get my plumbing stuff and all that I needed to get, my electrical and all. I told her, I says, go ahead and be finding you a pair of shoes while you're here, because I want you to have a pair of muck boots. And
I looked at, what's the other brand?
lacrosse.
I tried on lacrosse, and I really liked the way one pair of lacrosse fit. And then I kept looking around, and I'm like, these are Realtree. I said, Mossy Oak ain't gonna forgive me for wearing.
That's right. You
Realtree.
can't. She couldn't wear a Realtree one.
And so I finally found a pair of Mossy. No, they didn't have any Mossy Oak in lacrosse.
Not in lacrosse. Not in. Well, they did, but they were the cheap, thin ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Danny says, but I saw the muck boots. The original muck is on sale. And the guy says, they're on the other side. So we went around and looked, and he found me a pair that had Mossy Oak on it. So I was perfectly happy. And I wore them the next day outside. It was like in the 30s outside. And my feet stayed good and warm. They were really nice, and they were easy to get on, easy to get off. So I told Danny, I said, okay, maybe I needed some muck boots.
She did. I mean, everybody on here is saying they love their muck boots. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they want to know, are muck boots heavy? These didn't seem heavy.
Not really. Now, the only thing is I had to buy a 7, and I could have used a 6. They didn't have 6s in it. And so I had to go up a size, but with thick socks, they'll be perfectly okay. And in the wintertime, lots of times we wear thicker socks. But with my thin socks, it feels like I have a little bit more room in them. And picking your feet up, you feel that extra space a little bit. But,
oh, look at this. K-Mac7 sending y'all love from Ava, Missouri. You don't even know how much I know about Ava, Missouri.
I could tell me what road you live on.
You tell me what road you live on, and I can just about tell you where you're at in Ava, Missouri.
We researched Ava big time.
I have searched that place up and down route. I call it Highway 5, all the way up and down through
14.
there. 14. I mean, all the way down to what's the little towns. I mean, it was like 5 little towns around it. But thank you, Gibson, L. Gibson, for that.
I'm prepared, but I'm not looking forward to the hurt that's going to come to so many. I get what you're saying.
I agree with you.
Mental's going to be the worst part of it.
Wanda and I sit down and talked about this the other day. The mental side of a collapse, I mean, I've been trained and taught in a lot of this, but the mental side of a collapse is where a lot of people are going to have problems.
Debbie Paints, did you get the shirt I sent? Debbie, I'm not sure. Now, I got a shirt from somebody. Was it Danny's shirt? If it was, I got that one.
Highway 5 and CR 405. Are you north of Ava or south of Ava? I'm trying to remember. 405 was Kevin and Sarah's. Kevin and Sarah's. They're southeast of Ava.
Yeah.
So
I just know when I wave my hand that way, y'all. Whatever that is. Is it okay to eat sweet potatoes on a daily basis as part of a regular meal, or does it have any side effects from eating too much sweet potatoes?
I eat 2 sweet potatoes every day of my life. And I'm still alive, and I'm 60-something years old. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Free like summer. Thank you. Can your food and stack your silver. Much love from the Silver Squeeze and
Wall Street Silver Community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, it's the one for Danny. I'm still looking for more. Thank you. Yes, that one came this week, and
what?
The shirt that came in the mail at the post office.
Yes, like this one almost.
Well, it was a man's dress shirt.
Yeah, but it was
button up.
Yeah, like a button up shirt. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. A shirt like this one.
If you say so. Well, I know what it is, Debbie.
Yeah. Sweet potatoes. I eat sweet potatoes. You can ask Wanda. She gets on to me because I eat too many sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
Ava is less than 100 miles away from me, Rick says. Oh, wow. There's a lot more people live up around that area than I thought.
Yeah.
Wanda and I almost bought a farm in Ava. That's the reason we know about it.
And the guy jumped the price the next week. When we looked at it, and the next week he jumped the price big time. So we just...
if you're 7 miles south of Ava, just before Squires...
Yeah, Squires.
You are
Jim and I made it.
You're 15 minutes from Kevin and Sarah from Living Traditions. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, let's see here.
All right,
I have to get down where I can read it. My eyes.
I think Lippy got the troll.
Yeah, we have a troll in the house. I saw that.
I think she popped in. I don't know if she's sitting at I don't know where Lippy is, but anyway, she don't have internet at her house. And that's one reason she's having issues. And she could be...
There's another one. Amanda says she's about 40 miles from Ava. Wow. Thank you, Gerard.
See, if we'd have moved to Ava, we would have
I tried to tell you, if we moved to Ava, there's just tons of people around Ava that probably know us, you know?
Hence, we're still in Mississippi where nobody knows us, right?
Right.
No, people kind of know us here, too. One of them says they met Kevin and Sarah at the grocery store.
Yeah.
See, I mean, it's a small community when you live in a small place like that.
Yeah, they're dear friends of ours. We talk to them on a regular basis. They're really good people.
Gemini says she's trying to stay on, but it's not working well.
Oh.
Yeah. A Home Depot troll. All right.
Anyway, getting back,
the muck boots was.
Yeah, the muck boots is one of the things that we got done this week, and then. This is another project that I got involved in. Our greenhouse, I drilled a 4-inch well myself here in my backyard. And
many years ago.
It was many years ago. And we needed a well for our greenhouses to be able to run them, or high tunnels, I should say. So I ordered this, was it called a horizontal shed?
Something like that.
Yeah, where the 2 doors open on the front and the top lifts up on it in case I have to pull the well out. I ordered this and put it there so that we can get the wells installed to run our greenhouses off of. So that's one of the projects that we've been working on here. And I haven't actually put the well in yet. I got my 4-inch submergible well in and all the stuff to do it with. I just haven't got it put down in the well yet. Rick says he's 52 miles from Ava, so
wow,
there's a lot of people right around Ava. I knew we should have bought that place. Well, the man went up on the price on us, so we couldn't.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay something just because somebody wants it. He found out that he thought we had money, I think, and he just went up on the price.
Well, he thought he had a sale right quick until he decided he was going up. The realtor talked him into it.
Yeah, the realtor talked him into it because they wanted more money out of it.
It was out from under contract. It was going out that day.
Going out that day.
To him. And so he said he would wait and give us an opportunity. And the next day, the realtor popped it back up, had him sign some papers, and it went up, I forgot, $20,000 or something crazy.
Angela says, I'm from Mississippi and I love your videos. I'm only about an hour drive from you. So she's got to be up.
Danielle says she has about 900 jars canned.
Wow.
She's growing in the high tunnel.
Good deal.
If I keep growing in a grow tunnel, will that be enough jars? It's according to how big your family is. Figure how many jars a day you need of everything. I mean, think like potatoes. How often a week do you eat potatoes? How many jars do you need? And multiply it by a year and then go from there.
Tammy, I'm an hour east of.
Yeah. I am of me.
Teresa, Ava's in what state? Oh, I came in. Ava, Missouri.
The I am of me. Thank you. I love y'all. I look forward to this stream every Saturday. People don't. I lost it.
Have the mental strength and health to.
Something. I lost it. It jumped on me.
I can fix that though.
Keep being real. You're close. You'd be closer to me if we moved. We'd be closer to her.
Oh, okay. That's what she said. Now, you ready for it to jump? There we go. Ooh, there we go.
All right. Let's see.
Stacy says, me too. We're in Pike County.
Kenneth Adams said he lived in Wiggins when he was 4 years old.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty cool.
Did y'all know there's 2 Wiggins, Mississippis?
Yeah, we got, the first time we had a get together, we had people that were going to Wiggins, Mississippi. They said, oh yeah, we'll be there. They found out there's 2 Wiggins, Mississippis. One of them's up north, middle Mississippi, and they didn't realize they had to drive another 4 hours.
Yeah,
down
one's just
south.
off of Highway 25 up outside of Philadelphia.
Thank you, I am of me. She posted it again.
I'll be canning sweet potatoes and Boston butt this week, Jan says. Good deal.
All right, so next picture was, let's see, what do we do here?
Amanda, it's perfectly fine as long as you do a good job of it.
What?
This is our Thanksgiving lunch, I guess, is what you're trying to show there. Yeah, this is what Wanda made for us for Thanksgiving. We had turkey breast from Dry Gulch Farms. Am I right?
Yes.
Homemade dressing with some ground Danny corn in it, I think.
Yep.
With
turkey.
With the turkey and home-raised onions and then our own home-raised green beans. Looks like you put a little cheese in them and onions. And stuff like that.
And so it was real simple. And we had pecan pie.
Yeah, we had pecan pie.
Sweet potato dessert. Cherokee tan dessert. And I made some fudge. It was amazing.
Gwen says, Danny, what's coming next? If you can talk about it. Well, prepare for the next lockdown. Let me just say that.
Loretta lives in Loosedale.
Yeah, we've had a lot of people in here tonight from Loosedale. I've seen that.
So that's really close. Like, really close.
Really close.
Yeah. Danny wanted, he says, we need to go buy a turkey? And I said, no. I said, I kept, when Dry Gulch brought us that turkey, he cut it up into different sections so we would have turkey and we wouldn't have to cook one big turkey. And so I took a wing, which was the 2 pieces of the wing, and I took it out and boiled it and took the broth and took the meat off of it and made the dressing. And then I took 1 piece of a turkey breast that we had and I cooked it in a crock pot. And it was delicious. It was really good.
Susie Q says, Danny, I'm in Zone 8, North Carolina. I planted sugar snap peas about 30 days ago. They're growing slow due to the cold weather, but still surviving. Do you think they will survive and produce anything? They probably won't produce anything because the plant itself can take freezes. The problem is when the little blooms and the little peas come on, they cannot take the freeze or anything like that, so it's quite possible that they won't ever actually make anything.
Tambra ordered a greenhouse today. That's awesome.
Oh, wow.
No, we will not be selling sweet potato slips because the state of Mississippi has some weird law that we can't sell slips and send them outside of Mississippi. Now, if you're still in Mississippi, I don't know what the thing is with that. We didn't get into that last year because we could not sell to just anybody.
Yeah.
Thank you, Grizz. Grizz showed up, so we got a good moderator. He's going to be whacking trolls right quick.
Guys, somebody figured out what I was talking about. 2022 elections is midterm elections, and they're just right around the corner. Just in time for the new variant and the new lockdown. So,
well, what they're wanting to do is, what was it they were saying about that? Leave the emergency voting thing in place.
Yeah.
They didn't want...
The Democrats did not want the people's voting laws to go back to their regular, normal voting laws. They wanted to leave the emergency ones in place that they put in place because it would benefit the Democratic Party. How cold can carrots tolerate? Carrots can tolerate down to about 30 degrees or maybe a little bit more. If it gets any colder than that, you need to put some kind of frost protection over the top of them. We put little hoops over ours and stuff to try to protect them from anything any colder.
We have some floating ground cover that we use sometimes.
Yeah.
Let's see what
right
else.
There.
This is what Danny does when we go over to the cabin. And y'all can see we're not finished. This is one place that...
Yeah, we're still working on the cabin. I ain't had any time to work on the cabin, really. We spent all week over there, believe it or not. And when we're over there, we have a fire in the fireplace going, and I usually sit and crack pecans, courtesy of a subscriber that I might say thank you dearly from the bottom of my heart, because I love pecans, and I love cracking pecans. And this YouTube subscriber, I can't gonna call no names, but he sent me a whole big old huge garbage bag full of them, and I mean I ain't done nothing but cracked pecans.
And we have the stone. You can kind of see how Danny's got it laid out there on the top. He was going to start laying stone yesterday and got slightly sidetracked. And
yeah,
so,
I don't think, can I talk? I don't know if I can talk
care
about
that. That's
okay.
up to you what you
All
want
right.
to say about that one. He got slightly sidetracked.
Yeah, yesterday, I was going to start laying the stone yesterday like Wanda talked about, but then I was sitting in here thinking, I've got to butcher pigs, I've got the cow I got to butcher, I got 2 pigs as a matter of fact to butcher, I got a cow I got to butcher and all this. I told Wanda, I said, I have nowhere to hang these animals and let them chill. So I told her, I said, I need to just find me a walk-in cooler or build one or do something. And she said, well, what about the one that our neighbor went and picked up that you told him about? Let me send him a message. So she sent him a message, and I was able to get the walk-in cooler from him. But technically, it's a walk-in freezer.
Yeah.
It's not a walk-in cooler. But I don't need the freezer unit. I don't need the unit. I don't need the fans that go in it. I'm going to just install an air conditioner with a bot system and just keep it cool for hanging meat and putting vegetables in and stuff like that. I don't want to freeze in it. So if anybody is interested in the freezer unit, and I don't even know if it works, but it's free. If somebody wants it, it's just free.
We just needed the panels.
I just needed the panels.
And so that's another project that we were not intending to start any more projects, but now we've got more projects. So
yeah, Stephen, I got some pecans that had not been sprayed, the guy said. Danny, when can I prune heavily my peach trees in upper state, South Carolina? You can do it anytime during the dormant period of the year, during the winter. I prefer to do mine closer toward the beginning of spring, because if you cut them then, they have a tendency to heal over a lot faster and don't sit there all winter with the exposed wood.
Cool bot, they said, is the way to go.
Yep, that's what I'm going to get, is a cool bot to go with. Matter of fact, it comes in a kit. You get a 15,000 BTU AC with a cool bot. It all comes with it.
Yeah. So needless to say, my stone didn't get laid again.
Yeah.
But he did get some work done today.
I did get some work done today. I did put the, I worked on our cabin shed. I actually got the top insulated. I got all the ceiling put up in it and stuff. I've got it wired. So I am making progress.
Yes. And we had a visitor this week, and he's still here.
Yep, we have a new visitor. Look at this, guys. Y'all see this little fella? This little fella has become my friend. They've been doing some logging in here behind us, and I guess they've tore up his home. He's just a baby, and he has stayed here with us at Deepsouth Homestead. He flies up beside me all the time. He follows me around on the Ranger. I mean,
he was sitting on the chicken pen here.
Yeah.
And I took a picture of him, and when Danny would hoot, he'd turn around and look at us like that. And that's probably one of the best pictures I've got of him, but we've been watching him for like, what, 4 days, 5 days?
Yeah, 4 to 5 days.
His name is Barney now. We've named him Barney because he hangs around.
He couldn't hoot yet. When I would hoot to him,
He'd whine like a baby.
He would whine and cry like a baby. He would just make a little crying and whining noise. But today, he actually, when I hooted to him, he actually hooted back, but he was like a little young rooster trying to crow. He just learned to hoot a little bit, and he just sit there and hooted back with me, went back and forth. And but what's crazy about this is he's out all day long.
All day.
He's feeding all during the day, not at night. Now that's what's weird, because I've never seen owls feeding during the daylight hours.
And he was sitting on the chicken pen, but yet he don't bother the chickens. He's watching the ground, and he gets lizards and bugs and stuff on the ground, I guess.
Yeah, and then this is him sitting in the mimosa tree. He's just sitting there watching. He looks for grasshoppers on the ground. He's been one of our best insect control creatures we have ever had. He's constantly, all day long, going for grasshoppers and all kind of stuff in the soil. He sits on the limb, stays right up here beside us. When we went out to eat our snacks at 9 o'clock, he flies right up next to us up there and sits and watches us. And when I hoot to him, he just kind of cries and yawns and makes all kind of noises back to me. So
we think he lost his mom because they're logging behind Paul and Amanda's on the other side back in there. They're logging in that area, and obviously he came from there and he got here and he didn't know where to go, and so he's been stuck here and he can't get to our chickens. Our chickens are in a closed-in area. They have wire across the top, wire around the back, and they're in a building and can come outside into the wire. He can't get to our chickens, and he doesn't seem to even want to.
He doesn't even want to.
He doesn't even really pay them any attention. He just sits on their pen and watches the yard. So I don't know.
He thinks he's a chicken. He might think he's a chicken. I don't know. He sits on the chicken pen all day watching the chickens, and they don't pay him no attention whatsoever.
Yeah. And this was that. Oh, that was the.
That's a mimosa tree. He was sitting in a mimosa tree. Yeah.
I have more. I've got lots of video of him flying around, and I've got video of him eating and stuff like that. Some of it's good video. Some of it's a little fuzzy from having to zoom up. If we go by on the Ranger, he's there somewhere.
One person asked on the way back, said, Danny, why did my sweet potatoes split? It's probably because of improper watering. If they get too dry and then they get water all of a sudden, they'll take off and have a growing spurt and they'll split just like a tomato.
Okay,
somebody asked about the Blue Eddy. I saw that.
Well, they were asking about the freeze dryer. Does it take a lot of electricity?
No.
Ours doesn't seem to.
Ours does. Our electric bill doesn't even go up. Have the folks at Blue Eddy got your ACP 200p and working or no? Not yet.
We intended to make a phone call because we haven't had any more contact with them.
Yeah.
And that's partly our fault too, because for not following up, because we've just been so busy. And our phone system is horrible here, so we have to wait till we go into town. And like I said, we hardly ever go into town. So
yeah,
I knew there was something when we went to town. I kept telling Danny every time we go in town, do you need to make a phone call? He says, nope. Yeah, you need to make a phone call.
Oh, I believe he's going to make it all right. He's cleaning up the bugs for us. I'm happy. I'm just ecstatic.
Yeah, and Danny's teaching him how to hoot. I think it's funny.
Yeah, I'm teaching him actually how to hoot, and it's funny to listen to him, but he's getting it pretty good though.
Yeah, it's really funny because the first few days when he would hoot, he would just turn around and look at Danny, and he'd get closer. He'd come closer. He knew that sound, and he knew that was something he should be able to do, but he just couldn't do it. There's Flutie Lick.
Flutie Lick, yeah. We have a lot of owls here. This past, about a month ago, I had like 5 of them up at the cabin.
Yeah. Sitting
up there just hooting back and forth. And, I mean, we had all kind of conversations going on.
I've got video of all that, and I intended to put some together, but we just haven't been making very many videos lately. We shoot some things, and then we just don't make a video on it. So, what else we got going on? What can they plant? You're supposed to be talking about planting. It's wintertime. Fixing to be wintertime.
Okay, Donna said if he's a barred owl, they eat during the day. Okay.
So that makes sense.
He is a barred owl.
Barred.
Barred, however you say it. I'm from the South. I add an extra R.
Well, it's got 2 R's. Barred. A barred. I don't know. I may be saying it wrong.
Did you hear about the vax in raw greens? Best to grow your own. KMAX 7. I actually talked about this over on Patreon, I believe it was. About Gates just donated billions of dollars to a university in California to figure out how to get this into the greens. Can you try to grow some sweet potatoes in Texas? No, because I don't live in Texas. Must be talking to somebody else.
Can you plant garlic in the spring?
You can. you just won't have very big bulbs. I mean, they'll make, but they won't do as good. You really need to plant them in the fall.
They want you to hoot for them. Chew
No.
your food. I've got video up. Where did I put that video of you hooting with the owl? I thought I put it on Deep South, didn't I? It's on Deep South. Y'all have to look. Danny talking to the owls. I'm pretty sure it's on Deep South. Is about a month and a half ago. Something like that.
Yeah.
Who cooks for you? Who cooks for y'all?
Who cooks for us? We cook for our own self. I cook breakfast every morning.
And
Wanda cooks
the
dinner
rest
and
of
the
time.
supper. I mean, so.
Can we hear Danny's best hoot? Come on, hoot for him.
Oh!
You do better than that.
Huh?
You can do better.
Well, the echo in this room, it's just horrible.
He's used to being outside.
Yeah, I'm used to being outside. Mr. Danny, do I fertilize newly planted muscadine vines and fruit trees now or in the spring? I'm in Zone 7B, Blunsville, Alabama. My cool bud is great, by the way. I would wait till springtime to plant. Don't ever fertilize something when you first put it out.
What greens are you talking about? I don't know, but we have kale. The picture is Danny in our kale. The kale is beautiful. We've eaten out of it several times and given some away, and it is still just beautiful. He goes out and pulls some, gives some to the chickens. Greens is something you can plant this time of the year.
Yeah,
if you're in the South.
If you're in the South, you can plant your greens. You can plant kale, cabbage, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, collards, I mean, onions, garlic. There's tons of things.
Broccoli, did you mention that?
Mitt said that woke his dog up. Oh.
But
Another person said I got their dog to bark.
now, we have things going in the greenhouse, but if you don't have a greenhouse and you're in the South, now I don't know about the North. Is there things they can plant? Most of them can't plant anything
Unless they
outside.
snowed under. No, they
Yeah.
most of them can't. The person said, I just ordered a medium freeze dryer. Do I need a separate designated 20 amp outlet for this unit? I would use a 20 amp outlet. That's what most of them require, a designated one. So yes, I would do it just for
One thing,
reasoning.
make sure you have a very sturdy cart. Don't put it on these flimsy
Yes.
carts. I've seen
Yeah.
too many that have flipped. Danny and I got ours from Uline. We paid dearly for the little cart, but it is well worth it. It's a heavy-duty cart. If you're putting it on your cabinets or something, make sure it's a cabinet that has cabinets under it. It's not just an open bar thing with a leg. They're heavy. I'm gonna tell you, they're pretty heavy compared, and they will fall on flimsy stuff. I'm just saying, y'all need to make sure you get something good when you get a freeze dryer. Put it on a sturdy surface.
What they were saying a while ago was, I figured it out now.
What?
Right here, the who cooks for you all is what an owl sounds like.
Oh. I thought they were asked. I don't know.
Oh.
What greens are being
Vaxxed,
vaxxed?
I think is what was that. Oh, maybe it was what greens are being done.
Oh.
Oh, I've heard
I don't know about that.
it was different lettuces right now. It was different lettuce varieties.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Danny, can I put an apple branch on any small tree? No, you can't put it on just any small tree. I mean, you can put it on another apple tree, or you can put it on a pear tree. Because I actually grafted an apple onto a pear, and it had apples on it. They were shaped kind of funny, but it had apples on it.
Some of them were kind of long. They
Yeah.
were weird looking. They looked like an apple, but they were long.
Yep.
So I don't know.
Is your 2000 watt Blue Yeti working now? Been thinking about buying one. Nope. Well, it works.
It won't charge.
But no, the 2000, the AC 2000, it charges.
Oh yeah.
But it runs down real fast and it has all these error codes on
That's
it.
right. That's
Yeah.
yeah. We've got two that's got issues. So yeah, that's one of them.
Do we all grow tea? We have tea trees started, don't we?
Yeah, they're about
They're about that tall.
about
Yeah.
4 leaves. It wouldn't do any good right now. We don't drink tea that much. I drink different types of teas, but not black tea, so to speak. And so tea is not a biggie for us. Coffee is. Coffee's a biggie. I don't grow coffee. I stash coffee. Danny
Yeah.
knows if we go to town, I usually buy coffee. I don't care if I got 15 in the cabinet, I buy coffee. So,
How long do sweet potatoes take to harvest? 125 days is the average.
yeah.
Have we ever tried the jackery? No, we have never tried the jackery. I've heard a lot of good stuff about it, but I've never actually tried ones. Anyone doing sprouts and microgreens? We actually have the sprouts and microgreen kits. We
Yeah.
just haven't had time to get it going.
Hoss Tools sent us one, and I had hoped to get it done this week, but I hadn't. That was the next thing. If you have an apartment or a house that you don't have room to grow a whole lot, sprouts and microgreens are one of the next things I was going to suggest for wintertime. They have a lot of nutrients in them and can be cooked or eaten in a variety of ways, and it takes right at 30 days to grow them. So every 30 days you could be having something. And if you had ways to stagger your trays and start them at different times, you would have microgreens off and on.
How are the peppercorns doing, and where can I get one? Well, if you hung on long enough, we might have some to sell come spring. I'm not sure.
If they don't die from the cold.
If they don't die from the cold, we can keep them going. We may have some to sell. They're easy to sprout.
Yeah, they're easy to sprout. I've got 4 going now. I think we were only sent 1, right?
Yeah, we sent 1, and we haven't tried a lot, but we've got like 4.
And I split the 1 right away. Pretty much, I saw it looked like it was trying to root, and I split it. And then since then, or maybe they sent 2, I don't remember.
They sent 1.
And so I had 2 going, and since then I've already got 2 more going, and I've got a spot on 1 that looks like it's going again. But it'll be a while. I've just got to figure out how to do that, and I might be able to sell some in the future. But I don't know. We were sent ours, and I don't know who would sell them or whatever. I have no clue.
Do we grow Mississippi red sweet potatoes? Yes. Let's see here. Where are we at?
I don't know. But Anna says she's been staggering her microgreens. No, she said, I will be staggering my microgreens. Good idea. That's one way that you can have something inside. If you're in an apartment or something, the GreenStalks. Lots of people are pushing GreenStalks for a whole lot of reasons. But my thought is, if you live in a small place and you need to grow something, the GreenStalks are a way to grow in a confined area. And it's even if you just grew your herbs or something or whatever, but you could grow something in it. I'm growing potatoes in some right now, strawberries. We've grown a variety of lettuces and stuff.
What's the best thing to use to put calcium back in the soil? Josh asked. Probably lime. Lime is one of the best sources for putting calcium back in the soil. Now you can use gypsum. Gypsum will do the same thing. Lime just lasts for 3 years. With other stuff, you can also use the stuff that only lasts for a year. Basic slag. You can use basic slag. Will do the same thing. What is the best sweet potato variety? That depends on where you live, because not everybody can grow all the sweet potatoes, and it depends on what variety grows best where you're at.
Do you need a UV light to grow microgreens? Hoss Tools sent me the whole setup, so I'm sure it has the type light for it. But you can Google microgreens and the do-it-yourself things, and some people do sprouts in jars and things like that. So there's a whole lot of ways you can actually have that.
Wanda says, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but every time I plant turnips, all I get are tops. Well, you probably need more phosphorus because turnips is a root crop, and any root crop needs a lot of phosphorus to it. So try adding some phosphorus and back off on the nitrogen, and you probably will be all right.
Swiss chard, Sandy says she's growing that in her house. Swiss chard is a great thing to grow this time of the year, and it is easy to grow. You could probably grow a pot of it in your house, or at least under the carport or on the porch if it doesn't get too cold. It winters pretty well. Swiss chard's great.
What's the best way to bring up the pH in my soil? Well, there's actually two ways. One is fireplace ashes out of the fireplace. You just have to be careful because it can raise it really fast. And the other is just plain old lime, like you put on your yard or something.
The I Am of Me said because of your sweet potato manual, she was able to share her knowledge with her neighbor, and they both grew amazing sweet potatoes.
Great. Great.
All right, let's see. Do y'all use land plaster in your garden?
No. Well, I have in the past, but I don't have access to it anymore.
The Urban White Buffalo says he's been growing microgreens with no lights for 45 years.
If you got a good sunny spot to set them, I guess you can probably do it.
I do believe some of the things I've read says that to make sure you turn the lights, if you're using lights inside, to turn the lights on in the morning and off at night, just like they would if they were outside, and it works better. I'm not sure if Hoss Tools is automatic or you have to do it yourself. I'm not sure yet. I haven't even had time to research it.
What kind of lime and where do you buy it? You want pelletized lime, or you can get powdered lime. Now, you get powdered lime. If you get hydrated lime is what's called very hot lime. It's a real white powder, and you have to be really careful with it or you'll burn your plants up with it. I recommend pelletized lime. You can get it from most feed stores or Walmart or anywhere like that usually carries it. It's made for your lawn, and it does just as good a job as the old powdered lime.
How do you kill grass? They're trying to start a garden in what used to be a pasture. That's Homesteading Crazy.
Black plastic or a giant tarpaulin. Spread it out over the ground and staple it down and leave it there for several months. And don't dig the grass up. Leave the grass under it. And the grass will actually die and actually make your soil very rich when it does. What are you planning on growing in the new high tunnel? Not really plan on growing anything. We plan on moving our fruit trees out of our older high tunnel and putting all of our fruit trees in the new high tunnel, and then converting our old one over to growing more vegetables up next to the house here.
He actually wasn't supposed to say that till we did a video, and then there's a video coming up this week where he blurted it all out again. So
yep.
So now everybody knows why we were going to do that.
It's all right. We have to do it.
He gets ahead of y'all. You can't do videos around Danny. You have to run him off. I'm just saying. I told him this morning, I said, I'm going to do the Canon video.
Yeah.
And so I had my canner going, and I went to feed my chickens, and when I come back, he had done put the lid on. I mean, the lid was on. I was waiting on it, the steam to come through.
She was waiting on the pressure to build up in it for so many minutes, and then put the jiggler on top.
I come back, and the jiggler's on the top, and I said, what'd you do? He said, it was shooting steam out. I said, I needed video of it. I was going to video the steam and putting the cap on, the jiggler on. He said, well, I done it for you. And I said, you messed my video up. So he leaves and goes back and doing his thing. I come back, get it all turned off afterward, go in the house to do something. About 45 minutes later, I come to take my jiggler out. I wanted to video taking the jiggler off and the jars out. My jars are all out sitting on the cabinet. So half my video is not done because somebody helped me.
Well, I drive up and the thing
Which I appreciate the help.
Yeah, I drive up and the canner's just sitting there and I'm like, well, she didn't take the top off of it and it was ready to come off, so I took it off.
Yeah. It's funny because if I hadn't been videoing, he would have done the same thing. He comes through, and if he sees it's down, he takes it out because it is outside. We're canning outside. And he didn't think twice of it. And I said, okay, you've ruined 2 spots in my video, so 2 parts of my video won't be on there. I just talk about it and it's done.
Okay, David says, how do we maintain humidity in a high tunnel? Live in South Mississippi, you won't have no problem.
It keeps its own humidity.
It stays too humid.
Way too humid.
We have circulating fans in the top of ours to keep it from having humidity in it.
Yeah.
What can I put homemade bone meal on? Any root crop. Any root crop can use bone meal.
Laura wants to know, anyone have any suggestions on how to kill bamboo?
There is a product out there, if you don't mind spraying it, it's called Spike. Now, it's very poisonous, and if the root of any tree or any plant or anything grows underneath where you spray it, it will kill it. But it will also kill that bamboo.
Coastal Redwoods says they put a 5-gallon bucket of water in theirs. I don't have to. I went in there the other day.
It's usually dripping
I forgot
water.
because it was so cool at night. I forgot that I needed to go open the high tunnel, and it was about 10, 11 o'clock, 12, something like that. I forgot. It was almost lunch, and I ran out there and opened it up, and my glasses fogged over, and there was a mist hanging in there, and it was like a tropical rainforest. It was not over 80 degrees, but it was hot enough in there compared to outside that was like, 50s maybe?
Yeah, it's probably about 40 or 50 outside.
The sun had heated it so much, so we don't have a problem at all.
Urban White Buffalo says it's going to take napalm.
To kill it, yeah.
And bamboo is pretty tough.
Bamboo is
pretty
really
tough.
hard to kill.
And bamboo can grow, it can grow 50 to 100 feet from where you plant it at. I mean, that stuff can just keep on going.
Yeah. All right, what else can they plant in the winter? I'm growing cotton, y'all.
Well, yeah, but you're in a high tunnel.
And I'm growing eggplant.
You're on an eggplant. You got tomato plants we just set out in there.
Tomato plants, one of them's blooming.
Yeah, we got one blooming. We got English peas. We got all kind of stuff. We got okra still going in your high tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You got
Cherokee Trail of Tears beans came up voluntarily.
You also still have Red Ripper peas growing.
Red Ripper peas.
Yeah.
So I've got a variety in my greenhouse. Y'all aren't limited to just growing lettuce and tomatoes. That's all people think about when they get a greenhouse is lettuce and tomatoes. Think outside the box. I planted potatoes. I've got potatoes up this tall. So you can grow potatoes. We have a video on that this week too.
Miriam says, you two look so in love. May I ask how you met? We have a video on that, not only on our channel, but also over on
Empty
Hammock's channel. Barry come here and did a documentary on mine and Wanda's meeting and how we met, and he put it over on his channel.
It's called
something with what is it called?
Grounded series.
Yeah, the Grounded series. Yes, it's called the Grounded series. It's on Empty Hammock's channel.
But I have it where you can go straight to it. If you go to Deep South Homestead's YouTube page and scroll down to the Danny and Wanda stories, the Grounded series is the first one on there, and it'll take you to it. But Danny and I met online. Just saying.
We met online on Christian Mingle.
Something that I thought I'd never do and, never even thought about. But
yep.
Had a friend talk me into trying it, and I'm like, okay. And he had his brother talk him into trying it.
Anybody grow potatoes inside?
We grow them in the high tunnel.
We grow them inside a high tunnel, but we don't grow them in the house or nothing.
What variety of sweet potatoes do you grow? I am in southeast Texas, similar climate to Mississippi.
Well, we grow the Puerto Rican yam, or the red Puerto Rican. We grow Bardaman. We've grown... I have an old variety, I just don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's just an old red variety. And we grow the white Nancy Halls and the white Triumph. That's just some of them that we grow.
All right. Let's see. We need a homestead mingle. Hey, Bella, I don't know if that would work. People wanted us to do that when we first started YouTube.
They did.
They said we needed to start a homestead mingle.
Yeah.
For homesteaders, and we were like, hey, we ain't the people to oversee that. You don't want that.
Will we be selling Red Ripper pea seeds?
We have a video.
We have a video coming up this week about that.
I'm not going to give it away, but look for it about Wednesday.
Any spinach? We don't have any spinach planted this year, do we?
Well, only the
we have Malabar. We have Malabar spinach that grows year round here.
In the high tunnels, we have Malabar.
Kurt said he met his wife at church choir 19 years ago.
What's the best thing to help blossom end rot?
Probably would be lime. Maybe your calcium is too low.
Tamper said she'd get an axe murder. She tried dating online. That crossed my mind.
You can ask Wanda. I did not tell Wanda anything about me. I did not tell her what I owned. I told her nothing. Not even after we started talking for a long time. I still told her nothing.
I did not know what the house looked like or anything till I came out here. We talked for 2 weeks, and we talked about everything except what he owned.
Yeah, I wouldn't tell her what I owned.
So we just kind of got to know each other. When I came out here, I was shocked at the house, because lots of guys will tell a woman he owns a house or whatever. The condition of the house usually is slim to none. You just, so I was not in the frame of mind that he had a house, a nice house. I just figured he had something, and probably wasn't very much of a housekeeper, and his house was immaculate. He's a really good housekeeper until he don't keep house, and then he just junks everything up.
Yeah.
If he was the one cleaning up right now, I guarantee you he wouldn't do half the stuff he does.
Probably not. Oh, man, as much as y'all grow, I don't see how you have time to make videos. Laugh out loud. It's because we are a permaculture homestead. When you do your homestead and design it like a permaculture, you really don't have to do that much work. The place does it itself, and that's what always gets most people. They wonder, how do we get so much stuff done? We don't. Nature does it. If you plant it like it's supposed to be planted, nature takes care of everything.
Yeah, we have to work at it, but we don't have to work all day, every day.
Right.
And that frees us up for our other projects. And we've learned to work around a lot of stuff. And usually if it's something that the two of us can get on and get through with, it leaves us free. I mean, we can go out and our raised beds, Danny and I both can go out one morning, and within an hour, hour and a half, we can weed every raised bed we've got. The high tunnel's the same way. Within 15 minutes, we can walk through the high tunnels and we've weeded it. We're done.
We're done.
And you don't usually do it but once a week or so. And the biggest thing is if we have to harvest and put up and things like that, that's our biggest. And he can jump on a tractor and run through and plow.
Yeah,
it takes no time.
Takes me no time. I can do a whole field in less than 30 minutes.
And I've learned to edit in a way that most people probably wouldn't like, but I've learned how to shoot pieces and throw them together for what I want. Because when we first started, we videoed everything, like beginning to end, and I had to gradually cut out pieces and scrunch it together. And sometimes I would sit here for hours with like an hour and a half to 2 hours of video to get it down to 10 to 15 minutes, because back then everybody said they hated the long videos, and now everybody wants long videos. So when I learned how to scrunch everything down, now they want the longer videos. You can't please people. Just saying.
Did we build our own home and our cabin? Yes, I owned a construction company for 26 years. I built the very big fancy $1 million homes and stuff like that, and yeah, I've built everything that we have here. It's just I have sawdust in my veins.
Danny and I have only been married 8 years. He built this house for his previous wife, Debbie, who passed with cancer 2 years before we met.
Yeah.
This house was built you started in what, 2000?
I started it in 2001 and finished it in 2004.
Yeah. And then when we met, we built the cabin, or we're still working on the cabin. And we've built everything else from the greenhouses and everything else that's got going on around here. Let's see.
Rick says, Gypsy B, I'm building a cedar log cabin. Wow, that's nice. I love log cabins. I can't help it. How do we keep the weeds down? We don't have a lot of weeds.
We have a lot of weeds.
Well, it's like chamber bitters is what we have. We don't have weeds, though. We don't have a lot of weeds.
Once the chamber bitters took over, now I don't like chamber bitters, I promise you, but we've learned that they choke out everything else. So sometimes it's easier to let the chamber bitters do their thing, and we don't have many other weeds, and it's easy to pull chamber bitters up.
Yeah.
So I can weed a place with chamber bitters in no time. Where grass gets tough and you can't pull it, the chamber bitters usually come up really easily.
Is this the first winter with the Cub tractor? Yes. What did you do to winterize it? I checked the radiator with my little tester to make sure that it was good down to a certain point, below 20 degrees, like to the zero almost. I have antifreeze in it. I cranked it up and ran it and let the antifreeze circulate through the whole tractor. Matter of fact, I drove it around the property and everything so that I make sure I had enough antifreeze in it. And I will check it again just to make sure.
Yes, we got to make sure all the vehicles are. And that's something everybody should be doing right now, is checking your vehicles and tractors, lawnmowers, the Rangers, whatever you own. Because that's something that most people don't think about till the night it's supposed to freeze.
Yeah. Gypsy B says, Smilax is horrible here. If it's any worse than it is here, you got it bad. Because here I push them up. They're big as a tabletop when I push them out of the ground. And they're like roots this big around. And I mean, I just push them up and pull them up, push them over to the side and let them just dry up and die.
Yeah, and people say, oh, but they're good for, I don't care what they're good for. We've got enough that he could push up for days and we'd still have plenty. And chamber bitters are good for kidney stones.
Yeah.
But y'all, I'm not going to save a chamber bitter. We have so many of them till I don't think we'd ever run out. And if we do, give it a week and they're back.
No, they come right back.
They're going to be back. So you don't have to worry. Do y'all like to dehydrate any of your potatoes, or do you can them all? I usually can everything.
Yeah, we mostly can them.
And I did freeze dry some this year.
Yeah.
So we're going to see how we like that. I just didn't do a lot of freeze drying with it. I did minimal things with freeze drying until I know if we like it and how long term it is, because there's not really any research on home freeze drying. There's nobody that's had one for 25 years to tell me if my stuff's going to last 25 years. So, 3 and 4 years, people know that it's pretty good, but not too many people's been doing it for more than that.
Ray says, it looks like it's going to rain all night, but we need rain in Tylertown. We need rain here, too. I was just telling Wanda, I looked right before we came online. I told her, I says, it might very well start raining before we get off tonight.
What are chamber bitters?
Oh my gosh, they're a little weed that gets about 12 to 14 inches tall. It's got little leaves on it, looks like a mimosa tree. And underneath every little branch is about 50 little seeds underneath there that just fall off onto the ground and make more.
Yeah, we do grow asparagus. I have asparagus out in the yard, and then I have a bed over at the cabin, and then we have some in Danny's greenhouse. So we have 3 different places we grow asparagus. And asparagus is something you can grow through the winter, but it's just not going to...
It won't make spears.
It won't make spears till spring.
Till spring.
I mean, you can plant it, but it won't produce till next year.
Oh, there's Keika Trail, late bloomer, popping in right here at the last moment.
Hey, lady. How are you?
I always enjoy watching her videos.
Yeah, she's moved in the last year, and gardening up a storm there. I think in Tennessee, right?
Root is super huge and keeps coming back. Gail says,
On what?
I have a weed that's growing tall and has purple berries. The root is super huge and keeps coming back. I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name of it right off the top of my head. We have a few of them around here. And when the first time I see them, I take the shovel and dig around on the sides of them and dig them up and pull them up out of the ground. And I actually put mine in the garbage to be hauled off to the garbage dump. I don't even throw them on the ground.
Dee says she ordered some of the sous vide honey a while back. You're talking about the spun honey? It is awesome, isn't it?
It's awesome.
Y'all, I made a sandwich today it was the bread I got, the cinnamon bread.
Yeah.
The spiral cinnamon bread. I took a piece of it, I put spun honey on the top, and then I put peanut butter on top of that. That with that cinnamon, that was some awesome. I just happened to look at that cinnamon bread and I thought, that might be pretty good with peanut butter. And then I thought, well, it needed some honey.
Yep.
So I made it. It was awesome. That makes a great sandwich, just saying. Some people are saying poke, but I don't know. It could. Poke does have purple.
Yeah, pokeberries. It could be a pokeberry. There's another one out there too, but pokeberry has a root. You ain't gonna pull it up. It's got a big root on it.
All right. What is a good source? Probably a book for what plants need what kind of nutrition. What's it? The
Gardener's Bible Dictionary. No, the Gardener's Bible.
Is it just you need me to go get it?
By
Let me go get it.
Yeah, it's called the Gardener's Bible.
Vegetable Gardener's Bible.
The Vegetable Gardener's Bible. Yes. You can actually eat poke. It's got an unusual taste though, and you got to boil it like 3 or 4 times, and you can only eat the top leaves on it. You can't really eat the whole plant. It's poisonous. But I mean, if you do it right, it's on the bottom shelf, laying down sideways. I think his name is Smith or something other. Do we have wild elderberries? Yes, I have wild elderberries in the holler behind my house.
This is it.
The Vegetable Gardener's Bible, right there. Edward C. Smith.
This tells you what vegetables need. It tells you what they companion plant with. It gives you all kinds of information. This is probably one of the best books out there for all things vegetable, right?
Yep. For all your vegetable concerns, this is one of the better books out there.
Danny takes and looks at this one anytime he needs any extra information. This is his go-to. Yep. I have a link, and it might be in the description of this video for Amazon on this book. I don't know. I used to have some books in the video link. Yes, we do grow moringa. We have that in our greenhouse, and I have some in my herb garden. We've been growing that for several years.
Let's see.
That would be a great giveaway prize. Yes, it would, but we just gave away a whole bunch of stuff, and the Jadam books come yesterday.
Yep.
So the 2 winners of the Jadam books, both of them come yesterday. I will be shipping those out next week. All the winners of everything else I've already shipped out. I've heard from several. They already got their stuff this week. So thank you guys for participating in our giveaways. So the Jadam books will be going out this week.
Does it happen to talk about growing indoors too? I don't know if it talks about growing indoors.
It talks about raised beds and deep soil.
It talks about everything from seed to harvest, healthy garden soils, plant directly, vegetables and herbs, and all kinds of stuff.
Not inside.
I don't think it has anything to do with anything inside, to be honest with you.
Pamela, thank you.
Thank you, Pamela. Started an elephant garlic patch after watching your videos. Any favorite seasoning plants? We found saffron crocus as an exotic for us.
I would say onion chives, garlic chives, rosemary. Rosemary's a biggie if you're going to season with something. Thyme. What else we got? I've got some.
Asking, do we have mullein on our place?
I had some, but I don't think it's going to come back. I thought maybe the seeds had dropped and I would get some in my greenhouse, but it hadn't come back yet. I've got pineapple sage. Great to season with. There's lots of things you can have in your herb garden. One Mopar man said he received his Jadam book this week. Amanda said her husband ordered him a good Jadam and the Gardener's Bible for Christmas. Yes. Amy, thank you. You are worth your weight in gold. I weigh more than Danny does.
I did not say that. Y'all are my witness. I did not say that.
I'm pretty sure I do. I haven't gotten on the scales lately, but he keeps losing weight, so I think he's down to way more.
Do you have any maypops? We used to eat that stuff on the seas. Yeah, we have maypops. Matter of fact, we got one growing right beside our steps outside.
Debbie says she got an apocrypha, but it does not have Enoch in it. No, the books that I have, what is that called?
Oh, you got the.
It is called the apocrypha.
Yeah, it's called the apocrypha. Yeah, it's got 15 books in it.
But if hers doesn't have Enoch, I don't understand. Well, mine had. Let's put it this way: there's 15 or so many books that make up the apocrypha, and then the book I have has Enoch, Jasher, and Jubilee with it. And I'm not sure if they considered that part of the apocrypha, or if the book I have just included those with the apocrypha. Just put it that way. But look up Jasher, Enoch, and Jubilees, because those are the three. That's the three that you really want to read right there.
Have we tried golden pear tomatoes? Yep, we actually grew them.
Yes, they grow like crazy here. They multiply big time.
Kay Cottrell says, I want a tractor like your red one. That has been a journey. That tractor has been a journey now.
He loves his tractor.
I love my red tractor.
He cranked it up to move it. He was going to put something under the shed, and he had to move the tractor out to put it behind it a few days ago. And he cranked it up, and he goes, yes, because it cranked right up. And then I turn around and look, and he's just riding down the road.
I just drove off into the sunset. I just kept driving down the road.
And I said, what are you doing? And he says, I'll be back. And he's just driving. He rides all around the property, and then he comes back. All he had to do is pull it up, put his stuff, and back it up. But he had to ride all around.
I got to take it for a ride every now and then.
He enjoys it. He really loves his tractor. So, I don't know. But guys, lots of prayer requests too. I want you to go ahead and be putting your prayer request up. There's lots of people losing their jobs because of they won't do the man thing. And I get emails all the time. People very distressed over this, but they don't want to lose their job, but yet they don't want to put this into their bodies either. And the way it's going, I've listened to some, what do you call them, lefties, newscast. They can sling this. If you watched them long enough, they can sling these things where you almost feel like you're doing the wrong thing sometimes if you listen to them very long. They can really work with your mind. So I just pray for everybody to see the light and to make their own decisions. And we kind of worry about this food thing. That's why we're telling y'all, grow what you can grow. Get you some pots and flower pots or something and grow something. At least learn how to grow something that you can do something with. My thing is garlic, onions. You can at least pull off a leaf or two and make you some soup or something. It might be garlic soup, but you got something. Did you name your tractor? Did you ever name it? You don't ever
No, I never did name it. No.
So
Still looking for the holy grail of Cub implements, the 474 4-row garden cedar. I have been looking for a garden planter to go with mine, the 172 or the 174, and I failed to find one at a price I thought was decent. Let me put it that way.
Yeah. Also, somebody at the beginning asked prayer for, you remember the name? It was somebody that has a YouTube channel, something Survivor. Serious Survivor?
Yeah, Serious Survivor. Their husband had a massive heart attack and passed away.
And, guys, I don't know them on YouTube, but, you know, y'all could go over and check them out and watch their videos. That helps them. I think it was called Serious Survivor.
Yeah.
I don't remember the first name of the person, but I think they said he had a massive heart attack right before Christmas.
Thanksgiving. Right before Thanksgiving he did.
Yeah. So
I'm trying to read some of the requests going through. I always like to read them. I mean, I know I'm not.
A lot of people have lost loved ones.
A lot of people. I was looking at that. Yeah. Serious Survivor. Yeah. It passed away. That was sad.
Yeah.
Ray Ferguson's wife, she has the lupus.
Yeah.
I had Christy said I had migraines for 7 solid weeks and they can't figure out why.
I am late in growing cold hardy vegetables outside, so I was thinking of growing them inside in a big tub with a grow light. What do you think of that? Would that method work?
As long as you keep the water fertilized and the light to it, it will work.
Someone's saying praying for a missing man in
Mike Lopez out west. His truck missing for 5 days. Okay.
So we do want to remember those that have lost loved ones, those that are looking at losing their jobs, those that have serious side effects and things.
There's a lot more going on than what they're telling people. Let's just put it that way.
So I mean, and all the people.
Jay Tharp was the one. Had the fever and everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's Miss Josephine.
Yeah.
Josette.
Yeah, she said she's got COVID. She's having a problem with oxygen and.
Josette, I think, or Josephine, one of the two. I just remembered the J when I see it. You're welcome, Mr. Ray.
I usually remember pretty much everybody that I look
see
and
on a regular basis. Yeah. Miss Gail's daughter.
Yeah, and guys, look, I totally get it if it's your only source of income and you have to take the mosquito bite, but the thing about it is, it's a short-term solution
Josette, yeah.
for a big problem.
Well, if this new one they're talking about what gets me is they're already saying they're testing to see if the jab even works with this new variant. And if it doesn't, that means you've got to get another one. But they're already saying it's the unvaxxed that's causing this. Well, if it doesn't work, then that's not the reasoning. They're not making sense at all.
Yeah, guys, it is an agenda. Let me just go ahead and say it. There's a lot of speculation out there that all this stuff going on in Africa is not even really real. Let me just tell you that.
So you're going to hear all kinds of things.
You're going to hear all kinds of stuff. They're going to try to scare people to death, and they'll more than likely start shutting stuff down again. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, prepare. We're going into the 2022 midterm elections. They're going to do everything that they can to mess with it.
Billy said to pray for Justin and his family because he lost his dad, yes, and that he and his girls are sick now. So, yes, we do need to remember Justin from
Metcalf Mills.
Metcalf, yeah. Yeah, you have to look at everything from all sides. Don't take one person's word for it. Look it up yourself, and don't exactly trust Google and Wikipedia for everything you see.
Doug says, what is your advice to the people who got the jab? Go over to my Patreon channel. I have a video over there of a doctor who tells you what to do to clean your system back out and get that out of your system. He gives a suggestion on how to clean out your system.
Yeah. Now, whether it works or not, we have no clue.
I mean, I'm not a doctor. He is, and he you know.
Doctor.
Artist. When do you plant Martha Washington roots? You can plant them now. Mm-hmm. Just make sure you cover them deep.
Yeah, and they won't produce till springtime.
And you can't harvest them for like 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need to pray, and then, guys, there's a lot going on, y'all. Just pray for each other.
Yeah. Father, we thank you so much for loving us and taking care of us, Lord, and being so good to us. And Father, there's been a lot of prayer requests here tonight. A lot of people's lost loved ones during these holiday seasons, and I'm praying for that empty void spot in their life, Lord, that you can come in and fill it and help them to be able to make some kind of sense out of all this. And Lord, Wanda and I know what it's like. We've both lost family members during this time of the year. Wanda lost her dad right before Thanksgiving. I lost my mom right after, at the end of October. And Father, it's sometimes it gets difficult sometimes. I mean, I lost a wife right at my birthday. I mean, we're not guaranteed any specific time when we're going to lose anybody, and we just have to understand that one day, if our lives were right and we were children of the King, we'll get to see them again. We'll get to sit down and meet them again. And it's just for a short season that we're going to be separated. But Father, I know that it can be hard because it gets hard on us sometimes. But I do pray that you can help them to fill that void. And for those out there that are that have COVID or that's dealing with other sicknesses, Mr. Ray's wife has lupus, and the different ones on here that we know of that are dealing with things. Ms. Lippy tonight, they're getting moved into a new place and all this, Father, and we just pray for all these people, Father. There's so many out there that have so many needs, so many people trying to get to a homestead, people that are doing their best to try to get stocked up, Father, before the next lockdown comes and the next shutdown begins. And Father, we're going into a midterm election. We know that things are going to get really nasty and really bad during that time. A lot of lying and cheating and stealing, everything's going to be going on to try to alter things. And we're just praying for all this, Lord. And Father, I always say I'm never going to pray for our country because you've told me that our country has to be judged. But I'm going to pray for the people of our country that lead our country that are evil, that you will remove them out of power and put some good people in power, Father, so that if there by means might be a chance that you could spare us for a little longer, then that would be our only hope, Father. Would you do that for us? Because right now, everything going on in Washington is just smoke and mirrors, Father. They're all left wing, right wing. It doesn't matter. They're all on the same bird up there, and they all have the same agenda. There is no good people up there right now, hardly. Just very few that's even decent anymore. And Father, we know you've told us that this is going to happen. So we pray for your mercy and your grace throughout all of this. And Father, just sometimes I just wonder, what is it going to take for everybody to actually wake up and see what's going on? But then I realize the scripture says that when you judge a nation, you turn them over to a reprobate mind, and they can't know any better because you've said they can't. So we have to understand that we're in that time frame. Wars, rumors of wars, earthquakes in different diverse places, Father, famines, pestilences, all these things you said. But you also said the end is not yet when these things happen. So we still have a little longer to tarry. And Father, I do pray, like John did in the book of Revelation, come, Lord, even now, come. Father, we need you, and we need you to come back for your children's sake. So, Father, with that being said tonight, forgive us where we failed you. We ask these things in Christ's name. Amen. Oh, man.
I'm starting to get sleepy now.
That's because you closed your eyes for a few minutes.
Yeah, we're usually...
I'm gonna be honest with you. Wanda and I are usually already in bed by 8 o'clock when we're at the cabin. I mean,
sometimes 7.
Sometimes 7 o'clock we're already asleep. So I mean, when you go to the cabin and there's no electricity, and all you have is a crackling fire for your light at night, and you're sitting there looking at that crackling fire, the next thing you know, your head goes to bobbing like this, and then all of a sudden you're out. You're out. You know.
Yeah, we really enjoy the cabin. It is our quiet zone.
It is.
And that's how come we're not getting as many videos done. We just vowed that, you know, it's not worth it to spend all our time here working till, I mean, there was nights I would work every night of the week till 10, 11 o'clock, sometimes later than that, editing videos, uploading videos, fixing thumbnails, fixing the descriptions, finding tags. I mean, I would spend hours every night of the week. And we said, enough's enough. If I can't get it done during the day, we shut down at night. And the only exception is maybe once a week. If we, like when he does a podcast, if he doesn't get it done during the day, he'll run in here and do the podcast and I'll edit it right quick. But that's a quick edit. It doesn't take me hardly any time to do that. So we vowed to just take and spend some time.
Yeah, we just decided. I mean, that's what we built the cabin for. And right now I'm working on, getting ready to lay the stone on the fireplace and stuff. So hopefully here before long we'll have that done, and then we'll work on the bedroom next. And
we'll almost be through.
Almost be through with it.
So
it is a sanctuary. It's definitely a sanctuary.
Yeah, for us, because we've worked so hard, probably for the last 4 years, almost all day and late into the night for 4 years to get where we're at. And people don't realize it takes a lot if you're going to jam something in a small amount of time. If you're working on your homestead, and I know Lippy knows this because this is what she's doing now.
Yeah, and somebody's asking, have we heard from Lippy? Yes, we have. We talked to Ms. Lippy today.
She's on here, but she doesn't have internet, and it's sporadic. Her phone's not working real well. But she's in her home. She's there. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, she's there.
They hit the road, hit the ground running. When they got to their place, they started ripping carpet out and getting ready to do painting and flooring and all this stuff. It's a jam-packed. And if you're doing a homestead that way, that's what Danny and I were doing. We were jamming everything we could in the last 4 years, trying to get it to a point that we can just sit back and enjoy it finally.
Yeah. Abraham McGardner says, if it's under construction, you don't pay taxes. It would never get finished. Well,
ours told us next year it gets taxed.
Yeah, ours told us that, well, you've been on this so long now, next year we're going to have to start charging taxes on it. I'm like, well, it depends.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna do that next year.
Yep. And James is right. Stand strong. Persecution cometh.
Yeah.
That
whether
it does.
We want it or
whether
not.
you want it or not, it's going to happen.
Yeah. So guys, y'all be good. Y'all find something to grow. If not, prep something. Just saying, prep it.
Yep. Do the best prepping you can, guys, because I'm going to tell you what, you don't have much time left. As a matter of fact, you only have months left